Tonight on CBC Vancouver News.
Under the line is Viola leads it now by 3/4 of a length.
Home stretch. After 136 years, horses are set to stop running at Hastings Racecourse. Plus,
as a player, the draw is where the tournament finally starts to feel real.
big draw. Canada learns its FIFA Men's World Cup group opponents as fans in BC and across the country gear up. And
I'm here to spread kindness and joy to all the people who need help. Help them, I respect them.
a day to give. British Columbians show their generosity for CBC's annual food bank fundraiser.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. It is one of Metro Vancouver's oldest forms of live entertainment. Generations of people have watched horse racing at Hastings Racecourse since 1889, but no longer. The track has announced it will stop thoroughbred horse racing immediately. The CBC's Troy Charles joins us. Troy, the track is run by Great Canadian Entertainment. Why are they pulling the plug on racing now?
Dan, Hastings owners say this is strictly a business decision, saying it's not economically feasible to keep racing horses at Hastings. The timing of this announcement comes just a week after the province said it would stop sharing revenue from slot machines at the track's casino next year. The province said a review of the industry showed it wasn't sustainable without significant additional government spending, which it couldn't guarantee while facing a record deficit. Great Canadian Entertainment has operated Hastings Racecourse and Casino since 2004 and leases the facility from the city of Vancouver. The union representing racetrack workers says more than 100 members are devastated by this news. The union calling on the government to keep slot machine revenue flowing to prevent job losses. The president of the Horsemen's Benevolent and Protective Association of BC feels the same way.
This decision is going to by Hastings to close is going to affect all the workers, front side and back stretch, the grooms, exercise riders, the trainers, the ticket takers front side, the concessions, everyone connected with racing. Government makes a decision to take away the money, and it's a working person who suffers the consequences.
Troy, amid all of this, there's also a lot of speculation about what happens next with the racecourse and that massive plot of land it sits on.
Yeah, certainly, Dan. A new stadium for the Vancouver Whitecaps is a hot button issue right now. In April, the team said it was looking at building a new soccer stadium at Hastings Park. Then in June, the Tsleil-Waututh Nation said it reached a preliminary deal to buy the casino business and related real estate at the track. The city still needs to approve that sale. We reached out to Tsleil-Waututh Nation about the shutdown of racing, but have not yet heard back. Dan, still many pieces to fall here. Back to you.
Troy Charles, thanks very much. Surrey police say a 9-year-old child has been taken to hospital in life-threatening condition after they were hit by a vehicle. It happened on Friday afternoon in the Newton area on 81 Avenue between King George Boulevard and 134th Street. That area is now closed as police do their investigation. Officers say impairment is not currently a factor and the driver of the vehicle is cooperating with them. They're asking anyone with information to contact the SPS non-emergency line. The search for the grizzly bear that attacked a group of school kids in Bella Coola has been called off. The BC Conservation Officers Service says forensic analysis shows none of the latest bears they've captured were linked to that attack. The November 20th attack left 3 New Hawk First Nation school children and 1 teacher badly injured. The Conservation Service says there have been no new bear sightings for the past 5 days. The BC government plans to make it easier for parents and guardians of people under 19 to put them into involuntary care if they're living with severe addiction and mental health challenges. Parents of children killed by toxic drugs say the change is needed to save more lives. But as Pinky Wong explains, others worry it may drive young people who are struggling away from help.
Had we had something like this in place, it may have helped save her life.
We were completely cut adrift. We were handicapped as parents. We were unable to participate in Elliot's care.
These parents lost their children to poison drugs and couldn't force them into care before it was too late. When a child or adolescent shows up at our door suffering from a severe disorder that impairs their ability to engage in care, we should immediately connect with the child parents or guardians.
Figo says medical professionals in BC were to treat people in their late teens as mature minors and allow them to make their own decisions. That has now changed.
That can mean referring the child to a bed, but it can also mean just admitting them to the ED or a pediatric unit long enough to adequately diagnose and provide life-saving medications.
The province says this new guidance will help physicians clarify when young people can be admitted under the Mental Health Act at their guardian's consent or request.
At the end of the day, sending a kid out with a bus pass instead of with a medication that would save their brain and save their lives and letting their parents know, there's just no argument. There is no answer except for that we have to do this.
But some advocacy groups worry the change will only fuel mistrust.
It's kind of scary because now youth are not going to have the same type of consent and care that they had before. Now youth are going to be more afraid to call 911 and even just like when they're using drugs.
Others say more resources are needed to help struggling youth.
They have conflated severe mental health disorders with substance use disorder. That is not fair, first of all. And I know that being involuntarily held for substance use disorder, all the evidence points to the fact that it doesn't work.
The new guidance is effective immediately. Pinky Wong, CBC News, Vancouver.
The Squamish Nation Council, meanwhile, has declared a local state of emergency in response to BC's toxic drug crisis. Council says it plans to create a task force to develop culturally informed treatment plans. It also plans to set up a way to evict people who enable crime. The First Nations Health Authority says Indigenous people were killed by drug poisoning at more than 5 times the rate of other British Columbians this year. The nation asks anyone who is struggling with addiction to contact their health and wellness team. And border officials say they've seized over 200 kilograms of opium from a shipping container in Burnaby. Canada Border Services Agency says its dog team made the discovery in March. The opium was allegedly hidden inside an 11,000-kilogram piece of commercial machinery. The CBSA says the container came from the United Arab Emirates. BC's police watchdog says officers did not use excessive or unreasonable force when they shot an Indigenous man on the downtown east side with a beanbag gun. 42-year-old Chris Amiot was visiting family in August 2022 when he was hit. He later died. A report from the Independent Investigations Office says both witnesses and police said Amiot ran into a store, grabbed a jug of milk, then poured it on his face. The officer who eventually fired the beanbag shot said Amiot was, quote, violent at the scene. But witness accounts said he was in distress and needed help.
And there was a fair amount of, witness evidence that the approach taken by police was not appropriate, that this was clearly an individual in distress and that he should have been dealt with in a different way.
An autopsy found the cause of Amiot's death was not due to the beanbag impact, but from the combined effects of bear spray, methamphetamine, fentanyl, and physical restraint. Premier David Eby says he is open to revisiting the province's Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act, or known as DRIPA. This comes after the BC Court of Appeal found it is incompatible with the province's current system used to grant mineral rights. This is in response to a legal challenge from the Gitgathla and Ihatasset First Nations. They claim mineral rights approvals violate the duty to consult First Nations about projects. However, Eby expressed reservations about giving the courts more power.
There is an aspect of this decision that I am concerned potentially puts courts in the driver's seat instead of British Columbians in doing this sensitive work. We're going to review the decision and, if necessary, amend the Declaration Act.
The opposition Conservatives are calling on the government to repeal the DRIPA legislation altogether. Well, the first round groups for the FIFA Men's World Cup have been decided as Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. get set to host next summer. Jamie Strachan gives us a look at the teams Canada squad will be playing and what fans think.
Best of luck to the African champion. Across the country, in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, fans gathered to see who Canada would face in next summer's World Cup.
I'm buzzing. I'm so excited.
I'm not worried at all.
In Washington, the Prime Minister kicking off the festivities, placing host Canada atop Group B.
Canada!
Also in the group, Switzerland and Qatar, and one of either Wales, Northern Ireland, Bosnia and Herzegovina, or Italy. That won't be known until March. Fans like what they see so far.
I think we're going to have the friendliest group out of anybody. They've got the team to do it, and then, sky's the limit.
Oh my God! For Canada's huge Italian population, a potential game against perennial powerhouse team Italy, a dream scenario.
They got work ahead of them, but we're going to be proud and we expect them to be here.
Jonathan Osorio, who hopes to be included on Canada's final World Cup roster, also watched the draw in Toronto.
I think it's a tough group, but a group I think that we're excited about. Switzerland is a nation with history and has done well in past World Cups and Euros.
Plenty of blue shirts in the box.
The big question that will loom for the next few months, will it be Italy who grabs the final spot in Group B and faces Canada in its opening game June 12th in Toronto?
Not sure if Italy's ever played a game in Canada, but to play the opening game of the World Cup, Canada-Italy, man, it would, honestly, it's huge for the country, it's huge for everybody.
The parsing and analysis of Canada's draw and potential to advance beyond the group stage has begun.
All things considered, not too bad. It could have been a lot worse. So I think they made out okay there. With Qatar, that's a dream sort of scenario.
Canada will play its second and third games in Vancouver against Qatar and Switzerland, hoping for an improvement on its last two World Cup appearances, where Canada didn't record a single point. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Soccer fans here in BC also pumped as we gear up to host 7 games at BC Place. Many gathered at a watch party to see how it all play out.
It's a moment where we kind of celebrate the culture and get to kind of unite all of us.
It's a great opportunity to show our beautiful city to the world.
We're in a historic moment, right? We're in a World Cup in Vancouver, so I'm living in this moment. I'm so happy.
The full tournament schedule is set for release on Saturday. Darius Madavi here with his Make the Season Kind quarter zip and a first look at the weather.
That's right. It's been a great day, Dan. We'll talk more later.
Indeed.
Now, we have snowfall warnings in place in parts of the interior. One for Coquihalla Summit, 30 to 40 centimeters expected there by tomorrow evening. This one started this morning, that heavier snowfall, 15 to 20 centimeters expected through tomorrow morning. That's Highway 1 from Sycamus to Revelstoke. So keeping an eye on both of those situations. But for now, just take care if you're going to be traveling along those routes. We have seen some more snow moving into areas like the central interior and down into the southeast. That'll continue on and off throughout the weekend and into early next week as we get plenty more precipitation on the way. A lot of that snow breaking into the interior, again, coming in waves, and snowfall totals not expected to be too high for most areas, closer down to sea level, but on the mountains, lots of snow coming. Good news for the ski resorts, a little bit disruptive for travel, and that's not going to end anytime soon.
Okay,
Dan?
Darius, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, it is a holiday tradition for 39 years and a mammoth day for us here at CBC. It's our annual Make the Season Kind fundraiser for food banks across BC. Day of fun, festivities, and heartfelt generosity. Arlene Young was front and center and brings us some of the people who made the day extra kind.
Hello everyone, I'm Leanne Young. You are here with me at the CBC Vancouver Broadcast Centre. We've been inviting folks to come out all day for Make the Season Kind. It's a day in support of communities in need, in support of food banks in BC.
Why did you decide to participate in today's event?
It's actually our first time, so we want to share the love, we want to share the food, and we want to share our culture as well.
What have we got?
So we have our traditional pork sisig taco. We made it into a taco. We also have our arroz caldo, like the chicken congee, and our popular purple yam dessert.
Ube!
Yeah, the ube.
Oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
And Bruno, you and Joe are here today because you guys are judging our Bake the Season Kind. Can you give me a little hint about why you selected the winners?
Again, another situation where it was very hard to pick a winner.
Because these are all kids.
Yeah, all kids. And they understood the break, they understood the challenge.
Tell me, what was the messaging in your cookie? How did you put that onto your baking?
My message was you have to be kind. And to be kind, you have to care and help each other out.
I love that.
The Whitecaps are heading to the MLS Cup. Up next, we meet some fans heading south to cheer on the squad. Stick around. The Vancouver Whitecaps will play for the Major League Soccer Cup on Saturday in Florida. More than 2,000 fans are expected to make the trip south to watch the squad take on Miami. Our John Hernandez is there with more from fans and players.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in Florida. And these die-hard Vancouver Whitecaps fans want just one thing.
We want the MLS Cup. Oh. We want to we're going to bring it over to Vancouver. Okay, Santa's going to deliver it here. Santa. Thanks, Santa.
Chris White and Lisa Zimmerman are among about 2,000 Canadian fans who dropped everything to make the pilgrimage south. A last-minute excuse to cheer on their team while taking in some sunshine.
It was a bit hard actually to get here. There's a lot of logistics and moving schedules. So to come here is really a dream come true.
This time the shot is saved. The rebound try.
The Vancouver Whitecaps, led by German superstar Thomas Muller, won their way to the Major League Soccer Cup final. It's the team's first ever crack at the league championship, the culmination of a storybook year that included a trip to the CONCACAF finals, and now to Florida, where they'll challenge Inter Miami, along with its Argentinian superstar Lionel Messi.
Honestly, Inter Miami have to be respected, and they're a good team. They've got Messi, man. They're great, but we already beat them. We've beat them twice.
The Whitecaps hold their last practice exactly 24 hours before kickoff, a chance to get acclimated to the time zone and the weather. The magnitude of the game and what it means to fans not lost on the players.
These are fans that have been here from the jump, and the fact that they're traveling down, it's not an easy flight. It's also quite expensive, and it's just, we hope to give them the victory they deserve.
Honestly, I honestly think we're going to win. I wouldn't be here. Well, I would be here anyway, but I love the Whitecaps.
A victory Saturday might not qualify as a Christmas miracle, but for these fans, it would be a pretty good gift.
Santa, thank you so much.
John Hernandez, CBC News, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And those not making the trip are still gearing up for the big match. Kier Junos checked in with Caps fans across the Lower Mainland who are ready to win it all.
Forget Messi. Don't worry about that guy. Mueller and the boys, Whitecaps, are taking it to him. I'm predicting the 2-1 final. Let's go Whitecaps! Let's go Whitecaps!
That's just a taste of the energy expected to fill this BC Sports Bar Saturday as the Vancouver Whitecaps take on Inter Miami at the Major League Soccer Cup final. Here at Baseline's Pub in Surrey's Fleetwood neighborhood, longtime owner Craig Johnson has been busy preparing to welcome more than 200 fans by 11 a.m.
It's going to be super fun. It's going to be packed. Everybody's going to be excited. Hopefully the Whitecaps can bring it home.
With the set piece, goes for goal!
Words fail to describe how highly anticipated this game is for Whitecaps fans across the province. For starters, this is the team's first MLS Cup final since joining the league in 2011. And fans will also get to watch a star-studded lineup on both sides, with German superstar Thomas Muller playing for Vancouver and Lionel Messi, one of the greats, if not the greatest, playing for Inter Miami.
You got stars Messi coming out from Miami, and people are going to be cheering him, but I think they're mostly going to be cheering for the Vancouver to pull it out for sure.
One member from the Vancouver Southsiders fan club says he's lucky enough to have snagged a ticket to see the game, but he says most of his fellow Southsiders will be taking it in at bars across the Lower Mainland.
The core is in Vancouver, obviously, but yeah, there's fans that are, spanning the entire Fraser Valley for sure. I know a handful of people from Abbotsford, from Chilliwack that come out to every game.
I say 2-1 Whitecaps.
No matter the outcome, Johnson predicts a memorable game, hoping for a moment in his bar, not unlike the 2010 Olympics men's hockey final.
And when Sidney Crosby scored the game winner and everybody just jumped up hugging each other, it was an event, and hopefully this will be the same.
The final kicks off at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Kier Junos, CBC News, Surrey.
Bit of wet snow falling in Revelstoke in the afternoon. It promises to be a damp weekend throughout much of the province, but will it be snow or rain? Darius will tell you in his BC-wide weather forecast coming up.
I think it's important to give a human face to the stories that we hear every day, the people that they affect. And I think talking to those people is what really gives us the true sense of the impact of the stories that we're hearing.
Prime Minister Mark Carney met with U.S. President Donald Trump and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum on the sidelines of the FIFA Men's World Cup draw. Carney's office says the three leaders agreed to keep working together on the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement, which is up for review next year. More now from Ashley Burke.
Two leaders coming together for a major sports event while still far apart on tariffs, nowhere near the negotiating table. This is the second time Mark Carney's come face-to-face with Donald Trump since Ontario's anti-tariff ad angered the president. He blew up talks in October to lower his tariffs on Canadian industries hit hard. This moment a chance for Carney to try and warm up relations and clear the air.
Yeah, we'll discuss trade. We get along very well. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Yeah, the name of the country.
Carney sharing the stage with the U.S. and Mexico.
Oh, Canada! Oh, congratulations.
Three trade partners showing a sign of unity at the FIFA World Cup draw.
The country is excited. We're just going to get more excited. Can't wait to welcome the world.
The leaders seen in a private viewing box at the Kennedy Center in Washington, appearing to have a good time.
A lot of observers may think that doesn't go with the whole elbows up approach, but when you're with this president, you want him happy, you want to flatter him, and that will hopefully lead to good outcomes.
But the Prime Minister's office kept expectations low. There's no sign publicly that Trump wants to resume talks.
Well, what I hear is, America's fine with where they have us. And it seems to me that maybe we're fine with where we have us, with the exception of wanting to bring down those tariffs on the industries that are being whacked.
The dealmaker who helped broker the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement urging caution.
We need to be patient. Now is not a time when we're going to get a very good deal out of the U.S., but I think conditions will improve over time.
The three leaders met behind closed doors for about 45 minutes. The question that remains, whether that time helped further Canada's interests. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
New data from Statistics Canada indicates the national unemployment rate fell to 6.5% in November. Unemployment now sits at a 16-month low. But as Jennifer LaGrassa explains, most of those new jobs were part-time.
In the face of tariffs, Canada's job market is showing surprising growth. For the third month in a row, more Canadians are employed.
It does seem to be signaling that we may be seeing a turnaround or a turning point in what has been a weak labor market.
The latest jobs report from Statistics Canada shows an increase of 54,000 jobs in November, most of them part-time roles and many in Alberta. The unemployment rate also slightly dipped after climbing for most of the year and peaking in September. It's now sitting at 6.5% from 6.9%. Sectors with job growth include healthcare and social assistance and accommodation and food services. Meanwhile, wholesale and retail trade sectors saw job losses, with the largest drop in Ontario. Most of the people getting jobs in November were between the ages of 15 and 24, a win for young people struggling to find work.
Ideally, we'd like a leaning towards full-time jobs because each full-time position generates more income, more economic activity. But young people often are looking for part-time work, so having those positions open up may be giving that segment of our society a bit of a relief right now.
While this report brings good news, experts say more positive signs are needed before they can say the Canadian economy has weathered the storm that is the trade war. But make no mistake, the industries impacted by tariffs are still getting hit hard. The Bank of Canada will be using this information for its final interest rate decision of the year. Most economists predict that the rate will hold steady at 2.25%. That decision is coming Wednesday. Jennifer LaGrassa, CBC News, Toronto.
In Canada, outbreaks of avian influenza typically spike in the fall as migratory birds gather to fly south for winter. Karen Pauls takes us to a Manitoba town where people there are alarmed at the number of geese dying from bird flu.
Yeah, so here's the goose sitting right over here.
Mason Goulet noticed this on his back deck a few days ago. On the retention pond at the back of his yard, more dead geese, dozens of them.
They were obviously struggling a little bit and couldn't move. Some of them we thought were maybe frozen into the ice, but I guess it happens they were actually, it turns out they were actually sick.
Scientists have already been here to collect samples.
This is my first experience with this scale of mortality.
Lab tests have confirmed it's the H5 avian influenza virus. Circulated naturally in wild birds and waterfowl, it's spread by migratory birds and causes severe illness and death.
Now we just have carcasses left, so it came down to strategize how we're going to go about dealing with those.
Across Canada, there is an active avian influenza outbreak in both wild and domestic poultry. More than 16 million domestic birds have died or were culled since December 2021. That includes a cull of 300 ostriches in BC last month and 63,000 birds in southwestern Ontario.
Just stay away from any birds that are dead or not acting correctly.
So far, there's been only one confirmed H5N1 human case in BC last year, and it has not been detected in dairy cattle or retail milk supplies.
It's not a zero risk, but it is low to the general public. So most outbreaks that we've seen, or people that have been infected, the vast majority are people that are either working on poultry farms or dairy farms.
But another concern, wildlife and pets.
Definitely keep your pets away from any dead birds.
As the cleanup and disposal takes place, Mason Goulet is taking that advice, keeping his cat, Martin, off the deck.
These birds are obviously sick, right? So we don't want to risk it spreading to animals.
Karen Pauls, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The world has lost a pioneering Canadian-born architectural talent. Frank Gehry died at his home in Southern California at the age of 96 after a brief illness. His bold and daring designs made him one of the most recognizable architects in modern history. The CBC's Havard Gould looks at his life and legacy.
In the late 1990s, the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain was built. With its waves of shining metal, transforming a fading industrial city into an international destination. The stunning design also made Frank Gehry, then in his late 60s, the most recognized and sought-after architect in the world.
Well, it did get a lot of press, I'll tell you that. That caught me by surprise.
Gehry was born Ephraim Goldberg in Toronto, in a family struggling to make ends meet. As a child, he played with scraps of wood, making imaginary buildings and cities. After a time in Timmins, Ontario, the family moved to California, where Gehry, who endured anti-Semitism as a teenager, changed his name, worked as a truck driver, and studied.
I didn't know I wanted to be an architect until I took some classes in the art school.
As an architect, Gehry played with materials and designs in ways others wouldn't or couldn't. People say this building in Prague creates the impression of a couple dancing. Another in the U.S. includes a giant set of binoculars. He also created lamps that reflected a fascination with fish and used cardboard to make a line of furniture.
Furniture is the quick fix. You know, architecture takes so damn long.
True to his Canadian roots, Gehry would sometimes play hockey against architecture students before offering them feedback.
So, you know, I would push this here, and then it works, you see?
Gehry worked into his 90s, aware that he might not live to see some of his projects completed. He had critics. Some thought his buildings were too eccentric to be efficient. But around the world, Gehry's creations endure, continuing to challenge expectations and inspire. Havard Gould, CBC News, Toronto.
Russian President Vladimir Putin's state visit to India is raising eyebrows internationally, and that has put the world's largest democracy in a tough position. As Salima Shivji reports, New Delhi must find a way to stay on good terms with both of its major trading partners.
The warmest of greetings reserved for close friends. A hug from India's Narendra Modi, who rarely greets leaders at the airport. Before the summit truly kicked off, a two-day visit high on optics. For Russia's Vladimir Putin, the grand welcome confirmation he has allied support despite the war in Ukraine. For India, it's a diplomatic tightrope, honoring a long-standing relationship with Russia, its biggest defense supplier, while trying not to annoy the U.S. whose steep tariffs on Indian exports at 50% are hurting many industries. Those tariffs doubled in August as punishment for India buying sanctioned Russian oil. Putin defiantly alluded to that. We're ready to provide uninterrupted oil shipments to India, he promises. But Modi didn't mention oil directly in his statement, even as he talked up a move to expand trade with Russia by 2030.
Protecting the India-America relationship.
For this former diplomat, that caution makes perfect sense.
And we have to ensure that we do nothing with Russia that will give Trump another excuse to put blame on India.
Still, the visit gave New Delhi the chance to highlight its strategic autonomy. When in the country there's a sense of affection towards Russia and anger against America for imposing tariffs seen as unreasonable.
The more Trump has doubled down on India, the more likely it has become that India will continue to invest in Russia.
The string of agreements and warmth of this visit will likely raise eyebrows in Washington, especially with American trade negotiators set to return to Delhi for another round of talks next week. But for many in India, it's a key signal that the country has options and won't necessarily buckle to U.S. pressure. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Mumbai.
It's a dream come true for this mother. Coming up, I'll look into a much-loved neighborhood cafe in Vancouver, and our son helped turn her dream into reality. A Japanese mother and son duo have a cozy cafe in Vancouver's West End. Rintaro Kawai had the idea to open 93 Coffee to help make his mother's lifelong dream come true.
I'm Kumi Kawai, owner of the 93 Coffee. I'm from Ehime, Japan. I came to Canada 2012.
Growing up in Japan, a lot of the days I was going to school, coming back home, and then just studying. I have 3 other siblings. My dad was still working in Japan, and so she had to bring all of us to Vancouver and raise us here. I know it was a tough, really tough life for her. When I first heard about her dream of opening the cafe, I thought it would be a big opportunity for me to give back to my mom as a thank you for raising us here.
At that time, I managed the cafe in Japan. I wanted to have own cafe.
I followed what my mom wanted to do, but also I had this belief sharing Japanese culture to Canadian community. We wanted to make 93 Coffee into a kissaten. Kissaten is a Japanese-style cafe. It's sort of like a restaurant, but more casual. Customers can come in and they can sit down and they'll be served. This cafe makes it feel like Japan through the vibe that we create, the calming vibe, but also the Japanese meals that we serve. In Canada, or I guess Vancouver, a lot of the dishes or restaurants would be like sushi or like izakaya or ramen. I wanted to show that it's not just that. We tried our best to recreate the Japanese taste as much as possible.
The omurice is a ketchup rice with egg, with chicken. And then Napolitan is a Japanese traditional spaghetti. Cream soda is a traditional drink.
One of our best sellers is our rare cheesecake, and it has a cool story.
I went to the neighborhood cafe with my grandma. I love the coffee and the cheesecake. When the cafe closing, I asked the owner, can I ask the recipe? He said, okay.
We never thought we would offer it as a menu in a cafe. The cheesecake we had in Japan was a tradition, and we're happy that we could recreate that in Canada. When I hear my mom say that she wants to make her dream into reality, I think it built my foundation inside me.
Before I die, I don't want to regret to open the cafe. When first customer came here, I thought my dream came true. Yeah.
Her belief on not wanting to die before making the dream come true is kind of helping me. There's many things that I want to do. Instead of just thinking about it, my first reaction to it is to take action.
I'm so grateful to them. He helped me. I'm very proud of them.
Through this 93 Coffee, I believe that my mom's impact to us family and the community is immense. It made me really happy. We're doing the right thing, I feel.
Good son. The official opening of skiing on Mount Revelstoke this weekend has drawn nearly 24 plankers eager to get first tracks. One young exchange student from Germany has been camping at the foot of the chairlift for 3 nights so he can be the first to hit the slopes.
Camp on Wednesday night and up my tent. Honestly, the motivation is just ski.
Good motivation. Getting what's called fresh tracks is now a 15-year tradition in the area. More than 20 people camped out in the cold to earn their turns this year.
The weather update is brought to you by BC Cancer Foundation. Give today to bring more progress and possibilities to patients and their families. Your donation changes everything.
Darius Madabi here with the BC Wide Weather Forecast. Would you camp out overnight to be the first on a mountain?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I love skiing, but I don't know if I'm quite that committed yet. I've only been doing it for a couple of years. The novelty of Whistler is still plenty for me.
Yeah, you just drive up. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, nicely done.
And now I have this lovely Make the Season Kind sweater.
I was going to say, you could wear that overnight, couldn't you?
Yes. I'm not ready for the day to end, Dan. It's been such a lovely day.
That's right. And donations, you can still donate, which is great.
That's right. Come on down and give. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Teaser for our fun fact. But in the meantime, let's talk about the weather, because there is quite a bit to talk about. This big stream of moisture coming in from the Pacific going to really start to reinforce itself. A big plume reaches southwest BC as we get into Monday and Tuesday next week. So expect some heavier precipitation there. And we still have lots of rain coming this weekend. Tomorrow, a little bit of a lighter day for southwest BC, but lots of snow also breaking into the interior. So something to be on the lookout for there. Again, we do have a couple snowfall warnings in place in parts of the interior for some of the mounted passes. So that is definitely something to be aware of. But again, a bit of a clearer day on the coast. More rain arrives on Sunday, heavy at times for the west coast of the island. More snow breaks into the interior. Lots of accumulation for the coastal mountain ranges, as well as for some of the ones in the interior. Fresh dump of snow coming to Revelstoke for sure. And then we see plenty of little bits of precipitation showers coming in and out through the day on Sunday, even here after that main pass of rain ends. Then heavier rain arrives on Monday and continues right through the day. And Tuesday, another wave arrives as well. That could mean some pretty high precipitation totals on parts of the coast. Here in Vancouver, that could mean upwards of 100 millimeters on some parts of the North Shore over the next 4 days. So that's Saturday through Tuesday. West coast of the island also seeing some pretty high accumulation totals, especially in more northern areas. But fortunately, this is spread over a few days. This is a moderate atmospheric river event. Some localized flooding, probably coastal, is possible, maybe down some of the mountains. But overall, doesn't seem like it's going to be too excessive, although I would be surprised if we didn't see rainfall warnings issued. Temperatures have fallen pretty dramatically in the northeast, and they will likely continue to fall through the middle of next week, down into the -20s as our highs. Fair amount of flurries happening in parts of the interior. Some places seeing some clearing in the afternoon, though. And here's our 5-day forecast, Dan, with some more sunshine on the way for tomorrow. Enjoy it while it's here, because the rain arrives in force.
There you go. You know what we haven't done in a while? Let's do it. Ready? Yep, the nerds are back. Fun Fact Friday. It may not be spooky season anymore, but Darius, you're going to tell us how vampire bats help make the season kind.
That's right. It seems like vampire bats would not be a particularly festive fun fact, because that's what I'm going here for. I'm going for a festive fun fact. And vampire bats definitely more associated with Halloween than with the holiday season. But the holidays are often about giving. And to be honest, vampire bats are creatures that know a lot about giving. You might think they're scary. You might not love the creepy. It's not the most attractive face.
I'm sure its mom loved it for who it was.
A face a mother can love. Yeah, exactly. But vampire bats are very sociable animals. They're very friendly animals to one another. They build relationships. They exist in colonies, in caves. So they'll go out hunting at night. They like to feed on a lot of livestock mammals, and they do suck blood, but they have to. They can't go more than 48 hours without having a blood meal. This is very dark. There we go. There's something more visible.
Oh, there it goes.
Now, 48 hours. That's how long they have before they have to eat. If they don't, if they go to a couple nights and they don't manage to succeed, luckily they have friends and family, and they build relationships within their colony. And if they struggle, their friends in the colony will share some of their blood meal. And so this holiday season, we can all be a little bit more like a vampire bat.
Very good advice. Drop by, bring something. Thanks.
Thank you.
Nothing says Christmas quite like crab traps wrapped in garlands of colorful cork floats. Yep, there they are. If these are a few of your favorite things, or even not, stick around for this story.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
December 5th kicked off CBC's Make the Season Kind, supporting food banks in British Columbia. Thank you to all who have already donated generously and made a difference. The charity drive continues until December 31st. To find out more, head to cbc.ca/kindbc. And never miss a special programming series, event, or contest. Subscribe to CBC Vancouver's e-newsletter and keep connected with us.
A unique Christmas tree is back on the shores of Prince Rupert. It's a tower of crab traps around 9 meters tall, decorated with things you'd find on an oceanfront dock.
We got a sneak peek before the official tree lighting.
We've got our beautiful, I don't know how many feet it is this year, but we've got to measure that out. It's our crab trap Christmas tree. And you can see also we've got some beautifully painted and not painted, I think it's gillnet cork and seine corks as well. So
Okay.
It's a very coastal Christmas tree. I'm originally from the East Coast. I am from Prince Edward Island, and on the East Coast, they have lobster trap Christmas trees, and it's a really big part of all the different communities. And I was really inspired by that, and I thought that it would work really well over here, and look how stackable those crab traps are. I think the hardest part is the harvesters who actually had to build the tree the whole week before we started doing the fun job of decorating it. So we had to get all these traps. We had about 4 different boats who lent traps to come down here, and we had one crew that helped build the crab trap tree and put all the work in to stack those traps. They were working on it for the week, I think in 4 different, as the boats came down with the traps, they would come and meet them and stack them up. So, I'd say it's a couple hours, a couple times during the week for sure. Let's get a couple hundred people out here, that'd be great. But, in Prince Rupert, we've always got to deal with the weather. So it's just a really great way to celebrate, the fishing community and sort of what it means to the town, and get everybody excited about Christmas.
So cool.
I love that so much.
I
What a
know.
Prince Rupert thing.
Oh, totally.
As we mentioned earlier, today is CBC's annual Make the Season Kind fundraiser, where we thank you, where we collect money to support BC food banks.
Here is Leanne Young once again with some more highlights.
So today it's all about making the season kind. When you hear making the season kind and thinking about kindness this time of year, what does it mean to you?
Giving and helping out.
How are you, I guess, translating that or realizing that in your life?
I don't know. I think the more you give, the better you feel. You know what I mean? In this world, but times are tough. I mean, it feels really good helping out.
Hi, it's Russell Tiber. I'm Leanne. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Kind of an important moment happening for the Whitecaps. Can you recap for our audience what's about to happen tomorrow?
Biggest moment could potentially be in MLS history with the biggest final ever against Inter Miami, Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS Cup final.
How are you and the whole team feeling right now?
I'm ecstatic. What an opportunity to play against the best and to lift the title for the city.
Who's this? Who we got?
The most famous Whitecap of all.
Hi, Spike. We're so excited. They didn't fly you to Miami? What's going on?
He can fly
He
himself.
can fly himself. He's going to fly himself.
There he is. He's so famous.
I know. All the kids know. Oh, are you the better mascot? Okay. We're going to need all of your positive energy. Okay. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm Leanne Young. Thanks for watching today.
And
Awesome.
Dan, I know, right? And look how much, if it comes up, people have donated already. I can just tell you, I think I remember the number. $1,529,494.21. Yeah. I think this is a new record for
Getting close, yeah. It's going up throughout the day. It's awesome.
Right. It's good stuff. If you want to donate, go to cbc.ca/kindbc, where you can choose to send money to any of the 111 food banks that are part of Food Banks BC. You can also donate by text message. Just text KIND to 2222. And thanks for being with us tonight. CBC Vancouver News at 6.
And thank you for joining us. We'll be back at 11 right after the National. Take care.